If only we could all become a little bit more animal again. I think that we would be happier, braver, sexier beings. There's no geographical context that can tell you what you cannot do.
In my DM, begging me to shake it on my cam in the PM.
When men want to abuse women, it happens.
Sheikhs on the DM, sheikhs in my DM, riding in the Addy like a Saudi Arabian.
At a time when Arab Americans find themselves under the microscope and spotlight of suspicion, two young women are breaking barriers using similar messages but different approaches.
You know, I started writing poetry in my kindergarten journals, and it's just always been a part of my identity and who I am.
When I heard Alanis Morissette and I was 9 years old, I'll never forget, I felt a sense of permission. It felt like permission to be a woman and to be strong and to be angry and to not be contained.
I grew up listening to conscious hip-hop, like Lauryn Hill, like Common, like Mos Def, different artists who spoke to my soul. You know, they weren't just telling me to like shake my booty.
I felt like I had to have permission from from my society and from people around me and from my friends. I was living to appease everyone else's truth.
Like, you have the black kids, you have the brown kids, and like here I am, a hijabi, a Muslim woman who covers, who has very light skin. Like, where did I fit in?
Nice. How long your hair is, you need to get your life.
Like all young adults, both Rotana and Muna, a Syrian American, are searching for purpose and meaning in their life.
I'm from Saudi Arabia. There was no one growing up that I could point to and say, oh, she tried to break into the music industry. In my mind, I decided that it wasn't possible. I had just graduated from college. I started working at an oil company in Saudi Arabia, and I loved it. I was being pushed to the front lines as a woman, and there was such a hole inside of me, and it was tormenting me, and I realized that I had no idea who I was or what I truly believed in or what I was here to do on this earth.
I think I was very conscious as a young woman in this world that patriarchy transcends class, religion, culture, geography, borders. It transcends everything. They are worldwide problems, and it doesn't matter what religion they believe in. It doesn't matter what color their skin is. You know, they will do it.
I had to go through a depression to come out on the other side. People ask me all the time, how did you come to music? I have no idea. I got depressed and I started to hear a voice, and it was saying, I want you to try and write and do music.
Riding in the Addy like a Saudi Arabian.
But their struggles are not just internal. They're compounded by the reality of being born into a culture and religion, Islam, that is increasingly vilified in the US, which is home to both these artists.
Say my voice is haram, cause you getting turned on. Boy, you might need Quran. Boy, you need to turn down.
A lot of people are saying a lot of different things about me on the internet, in the world, with their friends. And I'm just working really hard to not take any of that personally.
Why is the majority of pushback coming from within the community?
When the sun sets trying to hunt me down.
I don't want people to get too mad at me, but I think Muslims are really afraid of growth. Our community is really afraid of evolution because we love our Prophet so deeply. And we're so hesitant to do anything differently than what he did.
I get a lot of negative commentary on my social media. I mean, you can read through it, I'm sure you've seen it. And that used to really hurt me. It used to make me question myself. I'm doing something that is new and is different and is not a norm in my society yet. And when you do that in any society, essentially what you are doing is that you are introducing people to parts of themselves that they aren't ready to meet.
I've been so sick. I'm on that
It feels offensive to some people and it feels like an attack simply because I'm being myself.
When religion is just telling us that this is forbidden, this is forbidden, this is forbidden, this is permissible, this is permissible, this is permissible, that's so narrow.
It's the most difficult part of my existence. It's something that I battle every day in saying, Rotana, I love you, I am proud of you, because I know that who I am is very offensive to some people.
I still rap my hijab.
What can you tell us about what that song's really about?
In a world that tells women who look a certain way that their bodies are not beautiful, that they need to show a certain amount of skin or their hair in order to be beautiful. I wanted to put something out there that said, hey, like whoever you are, wherever you're from, whatever you look like, I love you. And I think so many young girls need to hear that message.
Rotana's latest song, Daddy, doesn't only refer to patriarchy and the oppression that comes with it, but both of these young women told me that oppression is as much a construct of their own minds as it is imposed upon them by society.
The song Daddy is about not allowing anybody to require you to dilute yourself in order to make them feel more comfortable. And so Daddy is societal expectations, Daddy is the bully at school, and most of all, Daddy is the voice inside of our heads that are telling us that we can't.
I'm like rocking out.
Oh, what you gonna do, Daddy? Daddy,
What you gonna do, Daddy? I said, ooh.
Are your parents concerned?
Of course they're worried about that. I had so many people telling me that I shouldn't do it, that I couldn't do it, that nobody would care. Go become a doctor and actually help people, you know?
Just like Mona, at first, Rotana's parents weren't fully convinced of their daughter's musical ambitions and journey into the spotlight.
I was so worried about my parents and how they were going to feel about it. But now that I've just lived my truth, my parents believe in magic. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's real. And oh my God, this is so cheesy, sorry. And I think that when you live your truth, then it makes people believe in magic.
I want to put it out there that, you know, if a man ever tells you that your salvation is in his hands, you can tell him straight up and down that it's not.
I love Saudi Arabia and I love my country and I am proud to be Saudi. And I do this because I believe in the Saudi youth and the Saudi women, and I believe in a culture that is free. And I think that we are on our way there if only we can continue to tell honest stories.
What you gonna do?
One of the things that I really hope that this song does is it opens up the conversation on violence against women globally. What is my job? It's to tell those stories, and it's to create spaces that are safe for women to do that.
It's not that I wasn't afraid, it's just that I was afraid and I did it anyways. We look to our heroes and we think that they're not scared. I'm so scared. I'm shivering through all of this, but every day I wake up and I make a decision to commit to who I am. There's this perception that I don't love my country, that I'm creating a segregation between me and them, but I'm doing this because I am so inspired to come from a place like Saudi Arabia and because we have such a unique story to tell. So I think that's what a lot of people would be surprised to hear, that I love my country.
All around the world, love women every shade and be so liberated. All around the world, love women every shade and power run deep. So even if you hate it, I still rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab. Keep swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab. Me and my hijabi ladies, we was born in the 80s, so pretty like the Euphrates and party like some Kuwaitis, deeper than some diplomas, current like some hot yoga, taking back the misnomers and teleporting through trauma, teleporting through trauma, teleporting through trauma. I've been stacking